guys, it is almost time for the Global Warning Podcast. If you're listening, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. We appreciate it. We need you to leave reviews to help keep us ranked, because we want to make sure that you and all these other people out there in podcast world get to hear all this crazy shizzle we be talking. So don't forget to share. Even if you don't like it, share. Be like, look at how terrible this pod is, yo. Check this shit out. Look at what she said.
Anyway, so before we get into this week's episode of the Global Warning Podcast, I want to give a shout out to this new podcast that I found. It's a music podcast, and it is Project Art. I think it's Triphase. It's in Italian, so I need to brush up on my Italian, you guys. I can have Stella Piccolo tell us what it says, but it's a series of episodes aimed at illustrating a music project exclusively worldwide. So check out the link. It's in the description. It's Art Triphase, Trifase. They're on Spotify. It's a radio podcast, Triphase. Check it out, you guys. It's pretty cool. And if you speak Italian, you're in luck because, yeah, that's what's happening. So give them some love. Give them some support. It's a new show. As always, we're digging the good stuff. So should we just get on with the show? What are we doing? Where's J-Rye Rye?
Have you seen, we're going to start the show because I don't got time to wait for her.
She can just join when she's when she's ready.
Because we'll run out of time.
Yeah.
So have you seen, I just watched this movie like literally just now, Project Power, that's what it's called. Jamie Foxx.
I haven't seen, but it is on the list. Kate is away at the moment, so when she is back, that and the new series of Dirty John are like earmarked for the return.
Oh, you gotta wait, huh? It's a good film. I'm not usually into that kind of shit, but it was definitely it was quality. I enjoyed it. I think the ending should have been different, but that's
it's not really. Is it what you would call a superhero movie? It's because it's about like superpowers. It's not really a superhero movie, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. And that's what I was kind of expecting, which is kind of why I was like, Liam would probably get into this, and that's probably why I'm not gonna like it, because I don't know, I just don't get into comic-y superhero type shit. But no, it's not like that, it was cool. It was definitely cool.
As soon as I saw the first trailers, I was thinking, like, I know this is going to be something on my vibe. It's just whether it'll be nice it's nice when people try and take a genre and put some twists in it, because when people just keep making the same movies over and over again,
yeah, it gets bland.
It gets tired, it gets boring, it gets unoriginal. Like the amount of superhero movies and team up movies where, they doubt that they get their powers and they doubt their powers and they're not responsible. Then they have to learn and they get better.
Yeah.
And then they find someone else and that person doesn't like them and they got to bring them into the cause. And then
nothing like that, bro.
Great or good and all this kind of stuff. And let's work together. And then suddenly there's 8 of them and.
It's actually got a good story to it. It's not there's 2 scenes that are really dope. It's not even a spoiler, but you'll know when you see them, like, oh shit, here comes that scene. There's a scene in a bar that's fire, and then the scene I'll kind of give it away on that one. There's a scene near the end that is kind of superhero-esque, but not really. It probably makes sense. It reminded me of a superhero when you watched it. So basically, I can give you the premise of the film, and without giving away too much. So everyone in the film gets access to. I didn't see the trailer. I just kind of was glancing at it, so I don't want to give away too much. But basically, you get powers, but you don't know what your superpower is.
That's what they say in the trailer, basically, as well.
So all right, cool. So you all right. Here's girlfriend. So you get this superpower, and you don't know what the superpower is until after
until you've actually
you've
taken the thing or whatever, right?
Exactly. So you've taken you've taken the pill, you've got your superpower, off you go. So one guy's superpower reminded me of a real superhero, which I thought was kind of cool. And you'll see what I'm talking about at the end. There she is, Miss Top Knot has joined the show.
Hey guys,
I will tell you.
Yeah.
I feel like already before you even started, because it's in the trailer anyway. Machine Gun Kelly reminds me of the Human Torch, only from one scene, like the way like his like birth or whatever it is.
Right.
Reminds me of that. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but that's.
Nah, I'm not even talking about that. I won't even give away that aspect of the film, but. It's not what you're going to expect. We're talking about, for you guys joining us just now, we're talking about the Jamie Foxx film, which is on Netflix, called Project Power. I don't recommend films usually. I recommend this one. I'm not into action films. It's not really action-y. It's borderline, but it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I was reading this article about supermarkets are now trying to get rid of bags for life. Apparently the bags,
why?
people are it's creating more plastic. So they're saying people aren't bringing their bags for life, and they're basically just buying more plastic bags. So they're going to bring back paper. They're bringing back paper.
Bags for life. I'll tell you what, bags for life just became regular bags. As soon as you mainstream bags for life, that's just now the bags. So people are now willing to pay 5p or whatever it is, but it's not a bag, and it still should be. It's still marketed as a bag for life, but it's now just a bag.
Yeah,
but that's more for men. That's more for men, I think, because I have a little reusable bag, which is like beautiful design. It folds in on itself. I guess it's a lot easier if you're carrying a handbag, just to have that on you. Or if you've got a larger handbag, you can fit a few items in. So, but I think like for, you guys drive, you should like have some bags always like in the boot of your car.
I don't know what kind of living on the street shit you're used to with your fellas, but I don't drive around with trash bags and grocery bags.
Not trash bags. That's like
grocery bags, whatever. In my car, I don't drive around with any kind of bags.
You should like think about that shit. So
I don't. Yeah. I know when I'm going to the store.
You're the problem.
I don't ever
You never know.
I always know.
Sometimes you know. Sometimes you know.
No,
sometimes, shit, I forgot an item. I'm like, oh no, Tesco didn't give me like the premium like cream I wanted, so I had to go and get it myself.
If I forgot one item, I'm not needing a fucking bag. So you're.
It could be really big. It could be a really big item.
Squash.
I do keep a bag in the car. I keep 1 or 2 bags in the car. If it's a big shop, I'm keeping bags in the car.
That's good.
Nope. I keep them in the kitchen when I know I'm going to the store. I get my shit delivered anyway, but if I'm going to the store, I grab the bag. Anyway, so.
But also, wait, sorry. I think they could actually resolve this problem by getting a bag for life. That's £10. I'm sorry, that would be a fucking incentive. I'd be like,
why would it be incentive? Yeah. They're just going to keep
because
buying
I'd be like, because
5p
basically
bags.
No. I'm saying a bag for life should be £10. So therefore, you're not going to have this all like, I'll just buy one because it's £5p. It's 10p.
Well, then nobody
would be like,
would buy
what?
a bag
That's
for
an extra.
life.
Huh?
And you would still, no one would buy a bag for life, and you would still just buy the 5p bag. That's the problem they have now.
No. I'm saying get rid of the 5p bag. So you only have a £10 bag available.
You're saying force people's hand to have to bring a bag.
No, that's going to be, it hits your wallet. So therefore you're like, shit, I'm going to think about that. But otherwise, just bring back paper. Like, why haven't we had paper? Like, why did that get abandoned? I guess, like, things fall through it.
Deforestation. They're worried about the trees and shit.
Recycled paper.
Yeah, but you know how recycling is just a hustle. We don't have to get into this bullshit.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not
but
real.
Guess the shit made out of plants. That's what they're doing. Some of the packaging these days is made out of like some like leaves.
First time I came to Europe, I went to Germany, and I was with my then girlfriend, and we were going to the market in her village, and she grabbed what I would have considered a picnic basket, and we went to the supermarket to go buy groceries, and she didn't even have any bags. And I'd never seen, the stores where you don't buy bags or get bags. And she was saying that bags were 10p a bag. And this was back in 2000. This was 20 years ago. So I was like, wow, that's cool. So I come home and I'm like, you fucking idiots, take a picnic basket. So I think we should do something like that. So you don't really need to be hauling all these bags. I think people shop too much instead of buying, enough to sustain them for a couple of days, whatever. And I understand now we want to kind of load up our shit because I'm like that now. I don't have a freezer in my little ass refrigerator with my new place, big ass freezer. So, yeah, they're gonna this is Morrison's. They're trialing it in a bunch of stores. It's not across the board yet. Not that this is really that important, but yeah, this is your global warning for the day. Don't forget to bring your freaking bags, man. Otherwise, you're gonna have to pay. So, we're just gonna get right into it, man. I got a video that I think we should start off with, and this takes place in London, of course. And
hence that weird accent.
here we go.
Oh, yep.
He already knows what's up.
Oh, actually, wait. Before we start this, can I actually say?
Fire away.
Apparently, I think, and I mean this seriously, I think it was my auntie that recorded this.
Shut up.
Why is she not on the podcast? Get her on the phone.
I think she was actually the one that by the way, laid out. But yeah, play.
Wow. Play. Have you seen this, J-Rye?
No.
Oh,
I wonder if we're going to have sound. Do you think that's
right? Yeah, you're going to have sound. Here we go.
I'm fucking breaking the internet. I'm popular. What's your name? You know what my name is? Billy Still. What's your name? Billy Still. What's your name? Tell me your name. No, you're black.
You're black? What does that mean?
Oh my God.
Right. So clearly, this guy is just hell bent on antagonizing whoever these people are that are off camera, and apparently Liam's cousin, auntie, is behind. We need to get. This is funny because I was sitting here thinking like, fucking TMZ has to put their damn watermark on the video. They don't own this video.
Yeah,
they didn't take it. So this guy is on the underground in London, and clearly he's a bit upset.
Well, I can't.
With anything. What does being black have to do with anything?
Shut up. This is popular.
What's
This is popular.
So you're crazy.
Right. So when she says you're crazy, I thought about it for a second because obviously he's worked up about, probably the protests and things that are going on. I saw somewhere that some far right guy from up north in, I don't want to say where because I don't remember, pushed some police officer down the stairs in London during some protests a couple days or weeks ago, and they sentenced him to 2 years in prison. So people are worked up right now over this whole race thing. This guy is potentially one of them. He might be suffering some mental illness, possibly.
You're a fucking lunatic, and I can guarantee you're not 100% white. You are not white. You come from somewhere else. You do realise that. Yes, I am so good. Thank you for getting me up. Yes,
You
I
are
am.
so educated.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So you fucking told you not to
You're
want
so educated. You're so
Right. And one of my favorite things about London, and the least favorite thing of a lot of people that live in this country, is the word cunt. Okay. And
That's a great word.
Unfortunately, the trains are so loud, I'm almost certain she's called this guy a cunt like 2 or 3 times right there. And good for this chick. Right. So these are the guys that he was having a go at. So they're young cats. And I mean, judging by the camera angle, like this guy that we were watching, he looks kind of big. I don't mean like muscular big. He looks like he's big.
Yeah, pretty big.
He's tall enough. He's tall enough.
He looks like he's over 6 feet. He thinks he's big enough
He
to talk
looks
some
solid,
shit.
this guy.
Yeah, he looks big enough to talk some shit. But this guy that's standing in front of him, he must have been sitting down because I wouldn't have been saying, especially not young guys. You don't say shit to young guys because they're a little dangerous these days. Anybody under like 25, I'm afraid of. I'm trying to kill them. They're trying to kill them. So they're getting off at their stop, and this is what happens.
Oh shit, wait a fucking second. He's hit himself or something, hasn't he?
No, he is. Well,
He's knocked
he's
out.
probably hit his head. He's
Yeah,
hit his head
yeah.
on the door, but he's out. He's out.
Yeah.
And in typical English fashion,
Check if he's dead.
I like the fact that now they're saying pull the emergency button. After this guy just got stomped out, and he's been shouting racial bullshit for the last however many minutes until that woman turned her phone on. And now
to be
that
honest,
he's laid out, I think he got what he deserved.
I don't think he should have been pushed like that. He's obviously an idiot. He's an irrational man. And the thing is, to be honest, I'm not too sure if I agree with, obviously, don't be racist, but I'm sorry, you can't rationalize with an irrational person. So shouting things like saying is it can't do it does nothing. It doesn't do anything, okay? No. So it's a waste of everybody's energy, really. And I think pushing him, you know what? The higher ground would have been to just have got off. And I can imagine if I was there feeling the tensions, and especially if these comments were directed at me, the temptation would have been through the fucking roof. But I'm sorry. And also, you know what? That shit can backfire. What if you push, he's got, some underlying condition, hits his head on something, and that turns into something very fucking serious. And therefore, those people who meant just to give him a little lesson, a bit of a shove, that comes to bite them in the arse. So I just don't feel like it's worth it to take those risks.
213?
I agree about I agree on several things. There is nothing you can say to this guy that's going to make him change his mind. You're not going to give this guy some epiphany on the train as he's the reason he's spouting off like that is because his mind is already made up about these guys, whether they walk off, whether they hit him, whether they push him. If they say something, his mind is made up about what these guys are about and all this kind of stuff. So you're not going to change his mind. Obviously, hitting him also isn't necessarily the best idea because you're the one that then gets in trouble, and it's almost then going to be overlooked what he was even saying, even though that's what should count. As in, that should count towards your defense, because people shouldn't be able to just say whatever they want and then but that guy hit me. So you shouldn't just be able to be can you you can't just go up to someone and start saying everything you want about them and their family or and their origins, and then go, but he hit me, so I'm the victim. You say that to enough people, someone's going to hit you eventually.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened. And
I don't think that's the first. If he's doing it like that now, I doubt that's the first time he's ever done it.
Absolutely not. He's definitely gotten away with this, and now he's not gotten away with it.
But then, what do you? Sorry, go on, you go.
Hit it. Go.
Well, I'm just thinking. I wonder how he reacts from now on. Is it right? Somebody put me in my place, therefore I'm never going to repeat this kind of behavior. I doubt it.
No,
or in his.
He gets worse, yeah.
Exactly. Diseased mind is that he's just I was absolutely right. All my beliefs have been confirmed. And if anything, I'm just going to amplify all this hatred inside of me because I was attacked by a black man, even though he completely instigated and baited somebody. He's
stupid. He's a fucking idiot.
It is. And actually, to be honest, I think anybody who is racist in this day and age probably have some mental they have mental challenges for sure. It's just totally. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it would be such a pity if that was to the person who pushed him, whatever, ended up being punished because of it, because it was a consequence beyond what a consequence has incurred beyond what they imagined.
Well, I'm on the fence with this one, I have to say. Because this guy is who he is. He probably feels emboldened by the fact that you're seeing all this President Trump people running around saying whatever they want to do, these Karens out there in the world calling the police on people and so on. I feel he thinks he's got some sort of privilege. Then he can get away with the shit. And what are you guys going to do about it? And he'll link up with his buddies, and he probably is used to talking that shit when he's around his friends and they are in a group. And that's usually when those types of people are really more vocal. You usually don't see them when they're by themselves popping off. I don't think he was completely stable. That's just my thing. But that doesn't change anything to what he said or make it acceptable. I think
anyone who argues who just picks a fight with someone on the train for no reason, be it skin color, where they're from, their religion, anyone who does that there's some underlying issue to them that clearly needs to be addressed. But he himself clearly sees no problem with it. He's definitely been emboldened either by, media figures, like you say, Trump, friends, background, upbringing, whatever it is. But this also hitting him doesn't help to change his mindset either. It'll change his mind the next time he thinks about starting on another group of guys on a train by himself. He won't do that again. He'll probably do it if he's with 3 or 4 mates. He'll happily do it to one guy sitting there again. Yeah. Sure, because the guy's gonna walk past him getting off the train, and he's gonna go, "Yeah, look at you, look at us. What are you gonna do now?"
Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think would be the ideal response to someone like that?
I'll tell you what, from my point of view, if I knew that I could say nothing there, but I could actually get him into some trouble, like through some means, whether it's like, I don't know, you somehow, like, for example, if you report, I don't know, can you report people to TFL and get them like banned from public transport or something like that?
You can, because I know that I hear what you're saying, and I was thinking that, and I was thinking it's a shame that my phone wouldn't be working under the ground so that I could just call the police and be like, there's a threat, or whatever on this line, and we're at this stop, and then the cop's going to come. But, sometimes the police aren't there. If
you can pull the emergency thingamajig.
That just calls
and then be like,
guard, so it doesn't call.
Yeah, but then you'll be like, you need to call the police because this guy is instigating racial violence.
And he gets off and he runs. So, I think a lot of times, I'm going to say something you probably won't agree with. We need to take situations into our own hands a lot of times. And this was one of them. I don't think that people should be allowed to run their mouth and say whatever they want to say and not be held accountable. There should be consequences and repercussions. I've seen where people have done terrible, awful things in the States and in this country, and they've gotten a slap on the wrist. So we have laws for ethnic intimidation and all this other, all these other things to try and protect minorities and women and so on. You can't do this, you can't say that. But no one gets held accountable. So him getting knocked the fuck out was absolutely necessary. In my
street justice, but street justice for sure. But there should be harsher punishments to put people off feeling like they can do something like that. That ultimately, it should lead to a sea change of the whole scenario of how these things are dealt with, so that people don't feel like they can just walk onto a train and start running their mouth.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And they do that. Sorry to cut you. They do that with soccer hooligans. And I've seen this before I moved here because I was really interested in going to see, maybe see some what you call football and just see, the attraction and the excitement and so on, just to experience it and hear the, the clubs singing, all these people singing and so on. That interests me. Not so much the sport, but I've seen where they've banned people from getting on the train in certain towns to come play rival teams. Like, you're not allowed to even come, to this town via the train. So it can be done, but I don't know how effective it is, how much money they would be willing to put towards that.
I mean, I agree with actually both of you. Yes, repercussions need to be incurred, but and it has to be more than a slap around the wrist. But I think it should be, this is the thing, the legal system needs to support this. And I think it's not just a matter of having a £5,000 fine or something. There needs to be a re-education. So, as you said, this man has got deeper issues at play. He needs to see a psychiatrist of sorts. And that's how you're going to get proper rehabilitation. Otherwise, if you're like, oh, I just paid £5,000, or I don't know, I did some time. I have no idea what would be the best solution. But the ideal solution is to have a change of mindset. You're like, yeah.
Introduce, if you were able to introduce, I don't think like referring him to a psychologist, unfortunately, I don't think that would help.
Two things. I think both. Like, he's got some hatred issues. I don't know why. He must hate himself.
In the same way, though, in the same way that, like, if you, for example, if you're caught speeding, you can attend like a driver's awareness course or whatever it is.
I mean, it does fuck
maybe.
Exactly. I'm out there speeding again in a month.
3-hour workshop. That's nothing. That's not it. And it's not exactly addressing a deep issue there.
At least if you do something like this, if it was something that could be put on, like provisionally on your record as saying that you did, even if you haven't hit someone, but if you've been saying these things, it should go on your record so it does affect like your future, like potential employment.
Yeah.
And that so you pay a fine. So let's just say the fine is £1,000, and you also have to attend this course. It's not going to mean that you do change your behaviour, but you have to take a day. You have to pay a fine. It goes on your record for, say, 3 years that this is what you said, and you'd like to think that employers would look at that and go, well, we don't want you because you're clearly not inclusive. And that it has some like repercussions for people's future behaviour. They're still going to think that, unfortunately, they're still going to think these things. They're just going to think it quiet from now on. It's just going to be there in their head.
But I'm not talking just about going to a 2-3 hour workshop. I'm talking about this needs to be like a longer term course, and they need to be going to a therapist every week or something. I mean, not saying like they're going to get this, fucked up mentality out of the person, but I just feel this is a crime. What he did was a crime, and crime should be treated as a disease, and it should be cured that way, I feel.
I think that I kind of agree. I think that court mandated type stuff, I don't know. There were two guys that were in my meditation class that I used to go to before lockdown, and I'm almost certain that they were there for like court mandated anger management, because they didn't look like they belonged in fucking meditation at all. Right. They look like I don't even want to like be racist or stereotypical, but
go on.
they were both bald-headed white guys. They look like Nazi skinheads, but they look like
I was just gonna say, like, with a swastika in the middle of their forehead.
They weren't pulling the Charlie Manson, but they look like the kind of guys that you would see sitting outside of Weatherspoons drinking a pint, smoking a cigarette with like a Lionsdale fucking t-shirt on, talking some shit.
But maybe that's what they used to do.
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm just saying, they were cool. I didn't have a problem with either one of them. But it just felt like they just didn't seem the type that would be looking to come and do some Kundalini. They were looking like they were like, might as well go ahead and get this out of the way. But they were embracing it. But so good for them. But I mean, maybe this guy had some mental health issues. He shouldn't have been out on the streets then, if that's the case. He shouldn't be allowed to say certain things. I think we're at a major boiling point with all of this, with everything. We've got a lot of shit kicking off. I mean, people are traveling hours to just come down and talk some shit, and speak what's on their mind about things. And I don't know, man, with this election coming up in the States, ooh, I wouldn't want to be living in the U.S. right now. That's all I'm saying. So,
this election is going to be a very crazy few months of, and when Trump is removed, or when they attempt to remove him, there are going to be some riots from his end, and he's going to be the first one telling everyone to go to the streets,
tear the club,
do these things,
tear the club, tear the fucking
he's going to be making sure, because obviously you're elected out on November the 3rd or around that time when the election is, but you don't actually leave until January like the 15th or whatever it is.
Right, executive order.
But in between, if on, let's just say November the 10th, it's confirmed he is no longer going to be president, it's beyond the margin of error, he's out, the first things he's going to be doing is being like, I'm not leaving. You guys pick up your guns, pick up your arms, pick up this, pick up that. January 15th, when they try and remove me, I know you guys are going to defend me. And you know that there's going to be a whole bunch of people stood outside that White House.
Are going to be out there.
Yeah, totally.
Out by that White House, waiting for the military to come by to try and force him out. And he's going to be like, I'm not going nowhere. And there are 10,000 bikers for Trump outside right now who are ready to fight my corner.
Bruh, they can't wait for that. They've been waiting to ride. They've been waiting to legitimately, well, it's not legitimate, but to be given a
revolution
pass to go and just wild the fuck out. I mean, these guys have militias. Damn, Liam.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm from, there's a thing called the Michigan Militia. These are the guys that were at the state capitol when they were like, you guys need to lock down. They went there with their guns. They're like, nah, fuck that.
Not for me.
Yeah, so
I can't see you, Liam.
You take 50 states and then say, let's ride. I was watching another pod and this comedian was talking about, and we said this, or at least I did on a pod months ago, maybe even years ago, that he's not leaving office. Like, if he gets reelected for a second term, I don't think that he would I wouldn't put it past him to try and extend 2-term limit into 3. And even if, like, now, if they're like, we got the mail-in votes and he loses, he'll be like, no, I'm not recognizing that shit. Because these aren't legit ballots. The Russians had something to do with it. Fucking anything. So
he's already, those excuses have already started, and he's already trying to rig it in his favor anyway. He's already getting the postal service to remove ballot boxes so people can't vote by mail. He is defunding the post office so people can't get their ballots out. He is going to stop people from going to polling stations. Between now and November, he is going to do every single possible trick in the book and outside the book to make sure that people are either scared to go, who aren't his supporters, or to basically be like, oh, you didn't vote for me, your vote doesn't count. In some way or another. I don't believe your vote is real. I don't believe you're a real person.
Yeah, but then a lot of people are going to be fighting against that to make sure that, they get him out as soon as possible. But did you see that article about him wanting to change the pressure for shower heads or something? Yeah. Because what the fuck? Is that really a fucking priority right now? I'm just
because it was something like 2.5 gallons for the whole shower head per minute is what they allow. Right. He wants it per nozzle. So he wants water to be just gushing out. Like, you go for a 10-minute shower and you've literally used like 60 gallons of water.
He's literally a fucking idiot. And he's just like, because to make my hair look good. You think your hair looks good? Seriously.
It's a sad indictment on the United States.
It's so sad.
Culture that we elected this idiot reality
it's
star.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to get my citizenship, bitches. Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That fucking passport. So, so we're taking donations, you guys out there. You can cash at me at the address below, #B3TV UK. Help me get the 1,300 pounds I need to hire an attorney and fill out the fucking applications so the home office can get their money. Just donate $1. I don't care. Help me. Let's get me out of there. If you don't help me and you're watching this, it means you want me to go back to the United States where my life is in danger. And I don't have a gun. I don't have any shit over there. Just my words. And you see how they treat us back there with that shit. So
I think it would make some very interesting material. We'll be like, oh my God, his Vaughn survived. Oh my God. We're like, oh, cool gun, Vaughn.
I'm out here with my damn
You joining the militia?
Can't beat him. In the streets. Fucking running like fucking crazy. Anyway, Britney Spears. Man, I hate to leave.
What about her?
She's trying to get her father removed as the sole. I forget the technical
custodian or something. Guardian.
Yeah, she doesn't want him to be in control of her shit anymore. So
yeah, because that's fucking weird. That is one of the weirdest orders.
She's not all there. Do you see her Instagram post?
No, but yeah, I know. But usually, actually, I'm listening to a podcast about this. Those kind of orders are reserved for people who are, they can't live like a normal life at all.
Have you seen?
No. Do you know how much
Instagram
money she was earning while she was at Las Vegas? No, these people can't even hold down jobs normally. This is like the level.
She sings and
I'm
dances.
sorry, but for somebody who is a £1 million industry, and you have an order on that kind of person, and like I have to look into the definition as to what usually merits these kind of orders. And it was so far removed from her situation after she kind of recovered. And I just think something very weird is going on there. Weird. And it's like to the point where she had to ask her father if she could use a phone. It was just so strange. I mean, she's
not all there. They're afraid she's going to pick up the phone and like order like whales testicles and have them sent to the house or some shit.
That's nothing.
She doesn't even have custody of her kids. You know, when a woman loses custody to her kids to some nobody dancer, background dancer that she was smashing for a minute.
All right, I don't know.
You're not stable. You're not stable. Period. Something's wrong with you. So I wish her all the luck. I don't have any hate towards Britney Spears.
I love Britney.
I saw her breaking down when she shaved her head. I was living in LA at the time. I was right up the street from where she went and got all her head shaved. She is wilding. Women are going crazy. I got another quick video for you before we go. We got about 8 minutes left. We kind of touched on this one briefly before, but J-Rye wasn't here. We're going again live now.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus. Yeah, now I got the sound. Before I didn't get the sound. Now I got the sound.
But what is he removing from the car? Is that like oil and then it's spilt or something in the car? I'm not too sure.
It's some kind of gasoline.
Yeah.
Thing.
But how did it ignite like that?
That's what it does.
Yeah, it's fire. It's gasoline. So she lit a lighter to it.
Oh, is that what? I didn't see the lighter.
So let's watch it again. So she's pouring the gasoline in the car now.
Why would the fuck she do that?
Now she grabs her lighter.
Oh, okay. God, she's a fucking idiot. What a fucking idiot. What an idiot. I can't even.
Well, she's not a complete idiot because she went back for the evidence. So she went back to clean up the shit before she ran off.
You just do it in a public car park or whatever like that. You do it in the middle of the day.
You don't
think, I'm going to throw a match. I'm just going to light it. I'm going to go all the way into the car.
It happened first thing in the morning. So obviously she wasn't in her right mind anyway. If she's come to the conclusion that at 8 a.m. it's time to burn somebody's car down.
She's like, I just want to get this over and done with so I can start my day.
Well, I think she was probably just stewing like all night. And then finally she got up at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. And she was like, fuck this motherfucker. He ain't going to work in this motherfucking car. And went over there to burn it up right before he was supposed to leave for work. She's from Detroit, which is why I was like kind of like proud and embarrassed all at the same time. I was like, we get to claim this one, but like,
do we really want to?
So he didn't claim her. He flamed her on the news and was like, yeah, I know her, but that ain't my woman. So I think that's probably why she was looking to burn some shit up. But that's a bit of an overreaction as well. So what should happen to somebody that does some stuff like that?
God, man. To be honest, I think she's just going to take care of herself eventually.
She almost burned herself, blew herself
Exactly. I mean, like, she must have like got some burns there. I mean,
she had burns. Go ahead.
She's hurt herself for sure.
Yeah.
Because she has, like, you can even see the impact of, like, the literal explosion pushes her into the other car. Like that, like, she felt that. But with that kind of thing, I mean, that's pretty simple. You just say, okay, well, several things. We're going to have to arrest you because that's
criminal damage.
That's criminal damage and arson and whatnot. And obviously you just have to buy this guy a new car. Like, you burn down a Jeep, you buy a Jeep. Jeep for a Jeep.
I had a picture of the woman that did it after she had been arrested.
All right. Has she got any eyebrows?
She has some burn on her face, but not horribly. She
jeez.
wasn't horribly burned. You know, it just kind of like the impact, the concussion of it threw her back. But I don't know. Too bad for her. Hopefully she gets her shit together. Do we got any shower thoughts or any Florida stuff today, or are we calling it a wrap?
I did actually. I had a Florida, well, sort of an old they Floridian story.
What do you got for
from
us?
a few weeks ago?
He forgot, but I forgot.
From a few weeks ago, which was that a company in Florida is trying to send people to the outer atmosphere of the world in what is something like a big balloon, like a big hot air balloon.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the size of the balloon is apparently something like the size of a football field. So it's almost, and it's like $100,000 per person, and the journey is like 6 hours. I just don't understand the premise of taking somebody in a balloon that is the size of a football field above you. So they're like, "Oh, you're in the outer atmosphere now," and you're like, "Well, I can't see it because there is a football field above me." Massive balloon.
You look around, like your eye level.
Yeah, it's like when you pop up in like the zoo and they got them bubbles and you're like inside the fucking prairie dog thing, like looking around or something.
But all you can still do is just look at, like surely part of the appeal is being able to still look above and see, like, oh, we're this high up and now I'm in space. You want to see, if you're going to space, don't you want to see space?
It could be a transparent material.
Yeah.
That sounds even more dangerous. I don't know. I don't want to see the gas that's holding me up there. I don't want to see the gas and the thing that's going to explode.
Hey, well, I got one word for you: Hindenburg. So
exactly.
Good luck with that one. But we'll see what happens. I know the space travel industry is about to take off. It just
popping.
It's about to take off, and we can't expect to only exist on one planet forever. I mean,
but who really? How many people want to be like a part of like the first round of journey, like of people going on the journey? Like they've 100% got kinks in like no matter how much they test it, there are kinks in these kind of things where they say, "Oh, we'll take you to space." I want to make sure like I don't do it for like 10 years when I know all these kinks have been ironed out, because
you're such a pussy. Go do it.
No.
You might not even have much of a choice eventually.
There'll be one balloon that
like,
explodes.
this Earth is burning up. You need to get out of here. So it's just like, okay, but why don't we just spend all this money and effort and just revitalizing this planet?
Fuck this planet. It's trash. We're out of here.
What? Are you kidding
done.
me?
It's done. We got less than a minute. So any last words? I say we go. Space travel. Gung ho. I'm hitting it. You guys are good to stay here. We'll leave Liam behind. He can keep doing the podcast. We'll Skype from Mars or wherever. I think they're already sending people up there. I think that's why people are always going missing. They need guinea pigs. They should be taking these death row people.
I've been hearing about these. I've been hearing about this.
Test them out. Test them out with death row people. Anyway, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. You guys leave comments and review the shit if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We're on Amazon Music now, Amazon Podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, you guys. We're checking out for the day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for 213 and J-Rye with her late ass. We appreciate everybody for taking time, and peace.
Bye.